Well, that was boring. Waikiki Wedding was the 1937 Academy Award winner for Best Original Song, the song being Sweet Leilani, words and music by Harry Owens, and it was performed by the one and only Bing Crosby, who is the star of this film. Taking place in the territory of Hawaii, mind you, this is before Hawaii became a state. They also pronounce it Hawaii. That's the weird part. I mean, I'm not just talking about the locals. I'm also talking about like the white people on the island. Everyone calls it Hawaii. I think that's how you actually pronounce it. I wouldn't know. I've never been there. It follows Bing Crosby and Shirley Ross's characters. Bing plays Tony Marvin. He's a PR executive of a company called Imperial Pineapples. It's a company that harvests and sells pineapples, like ships them out and stuff. And Shirley Ross plays a beauty queen, who I guess is dubbed the title Mrs. Pineapple. It's like a mascot of the brand. But she isn't too excited about being on the islands, which I guess is what she won for the contest, being on the islands for 3 weeks and writing press releases about it. So Tony is tasked with helping her get acquainted with the islands and liking it better. La-di-da-di-da, they go on a Hawaiian adventure, and the two end up falling in love. Oh, and don't forget the comedic relief characters, because we remember this is a fun movie. Oh, and it's also a musical film, apparently, because there are songs that are sung by people, even though over half the songs don't like advance the plot or anything. It's not like they're super important. They're just kind of shoehorned in there because it's the 1930s. Americans love musicals in the same way that today they love explosions. I really didn't care for this movie at all. I just didn't care. Though the moment when Martha Ray's character, she plays one of the two comedic relief characters. She's like the friend of Shirley Ross's character. When she appears and she starts making jokes, I just wasn't laughing. I didn't find them funny at all. Just something about the way the jokes were delivered and edited and timed it was all off. They didn't land. They weren't timed very well. I did look her up a little bit after watching the movie, and I discovered that she was like a comic actress during her career, so I guess she was known for being funny. And I hope for her sake that this was just comedy handled badly for her. Like if she is legit funny, or at least in my opinion, legit funny, maybe it's because she was in better stuff, but I didn't find her funny at all in this movie. It kind of distracted me from everything else because every time she spoke or said some goofy line in whatever kind of voice she was doing, I was thinking, stop. Just stop. You're not funny. Go away. And somehow Bob Burns' character, who is another comedic relief character, somehow he was funnier. Somehow I enjoyed him better, even though his character had like a pet pig that he carried around with him for some reason. I don't know why. It's just there. This movie also had some editing issues that I saw. In one instance, it would show a conversation between two people, and it's just like a flat shot between two people, and then it would cut to a close-up for like a second or two on one of them saying one sentence, and then it would revert back to the group shot, I guess. But it was just kind of jarring because it's not like they were doing an A camera, B camera cutting back and forth kind of thing. It was like two people talking, and then it did like cut to one, and then it went back to like the two, and then I don't know, it would cut further back as to transition to something else. Like, were they trying to cover up a cut? Were they trying to cover up using two different takes? Because the first part of one take was better than the second part, and the second part of one take was better than the other, so they just combined the two and they said, oh, we'll just shove in the close-up of Bing Crosby's face in there, saying something he's supposed to say at that moment. But that's not the only instance where editing was an issue, but I did notice a few editing flaws in the movie. I mean, I get it. It's the 30s, and editing and cinematography techniques were not as advanced as they are today, but still, it just bothered me watching the film. And of course, other editing issues also include like inconsistencies. There was actually one consistency issue that was on set. It wasn't done in editing, it was done on set. And it was when Martha Ray's annoying character Myrtle, she starts singing a song. And halfway through the song, her hairdo changes. It's subtle. It's like she has hair coming out this way, and then halfway through, it's all of a sudden pulled back. And it's never explained. It's supposed to be done in real time. It's not like a day later. No, it's like a musical sequence done in real time. And I didn't understand why her hair changed. Like, did they have to get a new hairstylist? Did the hairstylist get sick? Did the script supervisor get sick? Was the director not paying attention? The song that this movie won the Oscar award, Sweet Leilani, it's cute. It's a lullabies type song, I guess. But the problem I had with it in the movie is that it was just there. Like, it didn't seem to play a real part in the movie. It was just there because, hey, let's just put a song here. I mean, why not? Especially in musicals, that's not very good if you do that, if you just shove in a song because you need to pad the running time. You would prefer to have songs that actually advance the plot, because the whole idea about musicals, at least what I've been taught, is that the music is supposed to amplify the emotional state of a character or characters in a way that couldn't be reflected in like spoken word. But this song didn't seem to have any of that. The story and script is very by the numbers, I suppose. I remember noticing some developments happening that at first made me go, what? What was going on? When was that established? Until I realized to myself, I don't care. This movie bored me heavily. Now, granted, I was watching this movie between the hours of 9 and 11 p.m., so I should have been going to bed, and I definitely was thinking about stopping the movie and going to bed. However, it's a musical film, and if a musical film is boring you to death, unless you absolutely hate musicals and they have that kind of effect on you, they don't with me. Usually musicals are good at grabbing my attention. This one wasn't. So I kind of hold that against it. Maybe if you're a Bing Crosby completist, this could be appealing to you. Bing Crosby was good with what he had. Shirley Ross had great chemistry with him. You know, both had good voices. They sung their songs well. They were cute as a couple to an extent. But this movie is not very memorable. I didn't like this movie, but when thinking about what I should rate it, I didn't think it was bad enough for me to rank it on the levels of Cavalcade. I really got to stop talking about how much I hate Cavalcade. But in other words, I can't really say it's unwatchable, because it's watchable in a few moments. So I can't say that. I can't even say nice try, because I feel like that implies that they ultimately failed in their duty, which I wouldn't be surprised if this was the kind of film they wanted to make, and it turned out the way they wanted it to, because the screenwriters and the directors didn't really care too much to make something really engaging or interesting. It's like, hey, we got Bing Crosby. Yay! People are going to see our movie. We'll get people to come to the seats. This movie is meh. I'm done. I'm done with this movie. I want to watch something more exciting. Hopefully I will next time. But this is a meh movie. That's my review for Waikiki Wedding. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.